Hi there, my name is Bobbi. I am 43 years old. I am doing the work survey. 21 questions about my job. I am a registered nurse. I've been a registered nurse for 16 years. Before that, though, I worked as a CNA and also in a home with mentally retarded people where they lived as roommates with 24-hour care. I started that in my early 20s, and I got my nursing license at 28. So yeah, 16 years as a registered nurse. I started off working in a hospital, and I was making around $19 an hour as a graduate nurse. And over the years, cost of living has went up, and we did get some boosts in that. But I now work in home care. I do admissions mainly now. So I get paid per visit. Get paid about $125 per visit, depending. A little bit more on weekends, a little bit more if I work over. I'm supposed to see 3 patients a day, but if I see more than that, I get a little bit more. I also get a little bit more if I travel outside my area. So it's per visit, plus we get some bonuses here and there. So it breaks down to about $46 an hour. I work in the homes I go to. I'm there for 45 minutes to an hour, and then I have about an hour and a half of charting to do outside of the visit. So average of 4 hours in the field, 4 hours at home or at the gym where I finish my charting. As for promotions, there are opportunities for promotions. There's supervisor roles, there's management roles, there's education department, which would be, I believe, more of a lateral move money-wise. Some of those do come with they do come with more money if you go into the management or supervisory roles, but you're not doing any hands-on patient care, and you're dealing a lot more with scheduling and staffing and running meetings, and I hate meetings. I don't even like to go to the ones that I have to go to, even though a lot of them are virtual now, thank goodness. So yeah, I have no interest in advancing that. If they threw enough money at me, I might, but it's just not really my thing. So anyways, 10 years, I'm hoping in 10 years I'll at least make 60 an hour, but we don't get raises every year. It's kind of like every couple of years. So I just got one for being at my current company for 6 years. I think the next one is at 8 years. So we'll see. I am pretty satisfied with my workload. Like I said, I'm in the field for about 4 hours a day, and I drive from visit to visit, and then at home usually about 4 hours of charting. As long as I complete that before midnight that night, I'm good. So I can even take a break when I get home, make dinner, hang out with my kid, wait till he goes to bed to finish up, things like that. And let's see, the bugaboo about my job, about my career in general, and they don't tell you about it in nursing school, and I really wish that they would, is family members sometimes, and sometimes the patients, they see nurses as the person they can yell at. I can't yell at the doctor. The doctor's the one who prescribes medicine. But they can yell at the nurse. And everything is our fault that isn't our fault. The hospital didn't do this. The doctor didn't give me that. Somehow that's my fault. I'm sick, so I'm grumpy, and I'm going to yell at you. So, yeah, a lot of my job is just kind of being a lightning rod of hate for people. What I like about my job, especially home care, is the flexibility. I can get my kid on the bus, go do my job, and usually get home before he gets home from school. If I have a doctor's appointment, I can schedule patients around that. And we help each other out as a team, too. What else? Personality type for my job. You gotta be friendly. And everybody's different, and you kind of get a feel for it after a while. Like, some people you can be friendly and bubbly with and joke with. Some people you can joke a little bit more with. When you kind of walk into a house, you know if you have to speak professionally or if you can lay loose a little bit. You have to be smart. You have to know what you're talking about. Satisfied with support from my superiors. Yeah, I got really good bosses. I've lucked out more often than not, and they do change around a little bit, but more often than not, I have had good bosses that I feel like I can come to if I need to. But why nursing? Why healthcare? Why home care? I went to school for journalism initially out of high school, and I actually have an associate's in journalism. And while I was working on getting my bachelor's, 9/11 happened. And I was watching everything go down, and I thought to myself, I don't want to be the person in front of all this carnage, reporting it and talking about it. I want to be helping the people that are hurt and, helping out in the hospitals and making people better and saving people. That's what I want to do. So I started doing that instead. Past jobs, I did write some articles here and there with my journalism degree. I never had steady work, but more of a freelance situation. I've also worked in restaurants. What got me into home care is I was working a restaurant job in between some nursing jobs, and I saw a company that was hiring for home care nurses, and I got there and they said, you don't have any home care experience, even though I had about 6 years of other nursing experience at that point. And I was working at a Mexican restaurant at that time. I'm like, look, give me a chance. I'm a hard worker. I'll start casual. I'll pick up what you want, and I will bring you tacos. And the girl was about my age, and she loved that. So she did end up giving me a chance, and I went from casual to part-time to full-time, and stuck with home care since then. All I did was a diploma program to get my RN. It was like an 18-month accelerated program. I've never had an interest in continuing my education. The amount of work I would have to do to go further with it in relation to how much more I would get paid really isn't worth it. Starting salary reflects the requirements, I think. You got to start low at some places, but again, if you're good at what you do and you stick with your company pretty much anywhere, they'll bump you up. Advice for future nurses: be very certain is what you want to do. It is not an easy job. You have to know a lot. And you have to deal with a lot. And you have to have a strong spine. And you have to know how to take the verbal abuse that you're going to get thrown at you and let it roll off you. You have to remember that people are sick, and people are upset because they're sick, and their family's upset because they're sick, and that is not your fault. And it's not your fault. Sometimes you just gotta let them be upset with you because you're the one there. And sometimes that's the best thing you can do for people. Resources for the future nurses: find a friend that works in healthcare to give you what it really is going to be. If you want to work in a hospital, see if they can have you shadow. Or a lot of home care nurses, personally, if I know somebody who wanted to be in the field, I'd tell them to hop in the car and come around with me one day. You can't really bring them in with patients, but they can at least kind of get a feel that way. But a lot of companies will actually let you shadow if you ask. Things I have learned as a nurse: patience. It took a long time, but I've learned to be patient, and I've learned to be humble. How to be a success: patience. Patience and good time management, the ability to multitask, the ability to leave it all at the door when you get home. And would I recommend it to a friend? Some friends I would. Some friends I know could not do it. Friends with a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities, and some people just don't have the humility. That's it. Thanks so much.